Hi Sarah,
Hello.
welcome to the Crystal Cabin for the Network She Health and Wellbeing Academy on the Mothership. My name is Michelle and I'm from Angelic Healing, and today I have with me Sarah. Sarah, would you like to introduce yourself and let everybody know what makes you happy?
Oh, this is a tough question. So I am Sarah. I am the owner of the Smart Bear Content, which is a digital marketing business, but I'm also the director, which sounds very posh, of the Hive Mind company, which is a community interest company that I've just set up. What makes me happy? Oh dear. This was the one question that I was very terrified about, because as somebody who's had mental health issues for over 30 years, what makes me happy is a really, really weird concept, because for a big percentage of my life, I was just trying to keep myself alive and sane, never mind happy. So yeah, it is a tricky one, but ultimately people make me happy. So as a massive extrovert, I love people. I love being around people. I love the energy that you get from people. I love talking to people, which is why I'm excited about doing this. Just anything to do with people. I can't even describe. I mean, I am an extrovert, so they feed my energy. You know, I'm one of these people who the more people I get to meet, the more people I get to talk to, the more sort of buzzing I am.
Yeah.
But also I really love art, and it's something that actually during the course of lockdown, because I think we're still basically in lockdown in Trafford anyway, I've kind of forgotten about that a bit, and it's not been something that I've been able to sort of do, because I love going to art galleries and, you know, seeing art from a very small age. There are many tales of me destroying books at home when I've got hold of pencils. When I was a kid, I also drew on freshly decorated wall when I was about 3. Shouted out for that. So art has always been a massive part of me, and music as well, actually music. So I'm here with my trusty Queen mug.
Hey.
Love a bit of Freddie. So yeah, I think most of the stuff that really makes me tick and makes me sort of who I am is all around people and the arts, I would say. So music, art itself.
Absolutely fabulous, thank you. I have to say, I've been so excited about our conversation, our interview today. I've really enjoyed listening to you on your 10-minute slots on the Wellbeing Academy. What I love about you, Sarah, and it's just given me goose pimples, is how true you are. How much, you know, everything I say about my business is all about you, and you are you. It's amazing. You're authentic. Your true self always comes through, and everything from the heart. And I just love how raw you are. You just say it as it is, and I want to say thank you for that, because it's lovely. It's a little, makes you come across a little bit vulnerable, but that is so lovely, because it's you, it's from the heart, and you really do care about what it is, the message that you're trying to bring to everybody. So
yeah, and I blame on being a Yorkshire lass as well, because us Yorkshire folk tell it how it is.
Yeah.
Up to tell it how it is, and but that's something that I've always done. It's caused me a lot of trouble, believe me, in corporate careers. Got into quite a few scrapes with management teams in the past, because
I can relate to that.
Because I was working in an industry where I was a square peg in a round hole, and you know, the tech industry is cutthroat, and often the people who are at the end of the phone or the clients are often forgotten about, and that was always my thing. You know, I was always like, but you know, this is not right because of this, and it's affecting this person, and got me in a fair bit of trouble, but it's who I am.
Don't change, don't ever change, because it's lovely. And you talk about the energy in people, that is your energy, and that comes out in your true self. So thank you, brilliant. You touched there slightly, being in the industry that you're in. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your background, Sarah? I'm loving hearing where it's all started and how it's all began for you.
Ooh, so we could go way back. So what I've already said in one of my videos for Wellbeing Wednesday about a lot of my sort of history as a child, but there's quite a few things that I think have led me to the career that I was in. So when I was little, apart from drawing all over walls and my mum's medical books, I used to follow my dad around with a screwdriver for some reason. I think I wanted to be my dad. I think I was always, even though I say I'm a creative, I think I was always destined to do something that involved technology or fixing things, because as a kid, you know, I had trains and cars and used to follow my dad around with screwdrivers, tried to take sockets off the wall and all sorts of stuff. So I think, you know, there was something there already. But yeah, my when I was a kid, we didn't have a lot of money and stuff, so we had quite a, I want to say, a poor in monetary terms childhood. My mum always says, oh, you know, we used to manage on 35 quid a week back in the 80s, which I think is about 100 quid. But I never remember being sort of
without.
poor.
Yeah,
Without. And we always sort of made do with things, fix things and stuff, which I think sort of slowly led me in the direction. So I ended up in tech by sheer fluke. I went out with a lad who was doing computer studies, and I thought, it's a good idea, I'll do that. I had no interest in technology. You know, I did science at school, loved science and stuff, but, you know, I wanted to be a graphic designer or an architect, and I ended up, you know, going down this tech career. But I think as much as it was wrong, it was right. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of, I don't regret any of my career choices. And, you know, I did stay with this one company for 18 and a half years as a technical analyst, and I got to the top of my career.
fantastic.
Which was quite, you know, my mum always said, you never do anything easy, Sarah, because being female in a massively male dominated industry anyway, but taking a job as a technical analyst, which is even more male dominated, you know, it wasn't an easy option. And it's sort of, sometimes I wonder how I did it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I was talking about it the other day. You just do what you have to do, don't you? You just sort of get on with it and you just sort of potter along.
Of course you do.
But yeah, that career sort of was a fluke. I never plan anything. It was shocking, isn't it, really? I never plan anything, but it was a real fluke.
No, it's all part of your path, isn't it? It's led you to where you are now. So it was obviously meant to be. I believe that.
And my path is a random path, believe me. But yeah, I stayed there for a long time, and I experienced some pretty horrendous sort of periods of stress and stuff, which kind of, I think, started making me think about wanting to work with people around mental health, but I never had the confidence in myself to do it, because I always thought, you know, who's going to listen to me talking about all this sort of stuff? And eventually, 3 years ago, I left. Just over 3 years ago, I left. I left in a really bad state, if I'm honest, and I think I'm still unravelling the damage, because I had medically diagnosed burnout. Literally, every time I went to work, I thought I was going to die. I thought, you know, I've said this before, I think, to Ruth, I thought I was going to have a heart attack going in the lift up to our office floor. The number of times that I had panic attacks sat in a toilet cubicle, you know, it was absolutely horrendous. And most of that was the square peg in a round hole kind of situation, because I made myself so stressed, because I cared about what happened to the smaller customers. Because in corporate, it's all about the big payers, isn't it? You know, the people who pay the mega bucks. And, you know, I kind of cared about the little people and, you know, wanted to help them, which obviously got me into trouble and got me stressed. And then, you know, eventually I kind of left and set up my business. And I didn't want to own a business. This is the irony. I've got two now, and I didn't actually want to own any business.
Just collecting them on the way.
Just like jewelry or something. Just like, I'll just have another business. But yeah, I met, I said this to, I think in one of the conversations with Ruth, there was the story of the Shirley Bassey dress and the Lady Mayor's event, which is where I eventually met Susie, who I now work with, and she just wanted somebody to help her. And I was at that point where I thought, anything that I can do can't be as bad as what I've just left.
Yeah, well, that's obviously being in the right place at the right time, isn't it? Yeah,
that's series of flukes. None of this is planned. It's all just, I go where I'm guided, I suppose. It just go where my journey takes me.
Something's obviously aligned for you there. I think there's so many of us that have come out in the corporate world feeling that kind of pressure and that burnout for all different reasons, whether we were, you know, square pegs and round holes or not. It's the expectation you do tend to put on yourself in that corporate environment to fit in with their values. You know, Nick especially talks about values and how in that corporate world we sit there and tell them what they want to hear so that we tick their boxes, until you suddenly get to that point where you think, no, actually this is not right for me. You know, and there's a clash. But unfortunately, most of us come away licking our wounds, believing that something that we've not done quite right, and that's a horrible feeling. I share that, Sarah, because I've been in a very similar position myself, and I know so
Mm.
many more in the mothership house as well. But
Mm.
great, because look where it's brought you.
No.
And you collected businesses along the way. Fantastic.
Yeah.
They've obviously been inspired to do what you do now from your life's journey, your life's
Yeah.
path. I hate that word journey, but it does come up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So come on, this is your chance to shine. Tell us all about what you're doing now. You can talk about one business or the other, or both, how one came into the other. It's your
They're a bit of a they're kind of like, they've got a symbiotic relationship. So the digital marketing side of the business, I work with clients who are not confident, which not all digital marketers, but most digital marketers that I've met, at least in Manchester, tend to have very strict ideas about what they think they should be doing, you know, their clients should be doing, and it's all very much, you must do this and you must do that and all the rest of it. And I'm like, I don't work like that, because to me, it's not about what I think you should be doing with your business. It's your business most of the time. So I tend to use more of the mindset sort of stuff in the way that I work with my digital clients anyway. So although the two businesses that I've got sound really, really disparate, they're not actually at all. They kind of dovetail together quite nicely. But as time went on with the digital marketing, the big thing that I noticed was there's a lot of us out there who are ex-corporate, who've probably left corporate for a couple of reasons. So one is that you got made redundant. I was so desperate to be made redundant, you know, and I never got it. I kept hanging on, playing, please make me redundant. They wouldn't. So that's the one group. But then there's the other group who's had a similar sort of path to myself. So they've had some sort of mental health issue. And when I say mental health issue, you know, I hate that word. I hate the words mental health. It just makes me feel sick, because we all have mental health and it's bandied around in such a negative way. But a lot of people have come out of corporate lives with some sort of mental health issue. I'm going to say it anyway, because there isn't another way to say it, is there? And those people were the people who I tended to be gravitating to, or were gravitating to me. And the number of people that I worked with who, obviously, helping somebody with the marketing is quite a personal relationship. And I am that person that is very nosy, so I want to dig into what it is that makes them tick and stuff. And the number of people that I was talking to that were saying, actually, I have got some sort of anxiety, stress, depression, whatever, was surprising, absolutely surprising. But the biggest thing about the business community is it's not the done thing to talk about it.
No.
And I have loads of people who I work with who I know are absolutely terrified of their clients finding out that they've maybe got anxiety or something like that, because they think that they will perceive that they can't do their job properly. And it's not the case.
It's massive, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then it's always that sort of expectation again of being judged or being seen as some kind of a failure. Yeah. But it's just, we're being human, isn't it?
Yeah. And if you think about it, running a business is bloody hard.
Yeah.
You know, irrespective of any mental health issues, families, you know, any other stuff going off, actually, if you were just sat in a room on your own, running a business, doing all the stuff that you need to do, that's hard. That's really hard. And I was shocked, because I was like dead naive. I'm like, oh, it'll be dead easy. I can do all this. It's like, no. After about 6 months, I'm like, oh my God, what have I done? Because I don't have my accounts. I can't do this, can't do that. But we do it anyway. But then if you add in mental health issues on top of that, then that to me is something to be shouted about and celebrated, because I think actually, like I say, running a business is hard, but then doing it when you've got a brain that's constantly trying to sabotage you at every single step and you're still successful is bloody fabulous. You know, it's
fantastic.
Like an amazing achievement. So yeah, that's sort of where this idea sort of came from. And then, you know, the more I thought about it, the more I thought, well, actually, no, I don't think there's enough people shouting in the business space, particularly for small business owners. You know, people like you and me, maybe, you know, one person businesses, sole traders, micro businesses, that kind of thing. There's not enough people shouting about that and sort of, you know, supporting that, which then led me down the route of wanting to do my mental health first aid certificate, which I did, which is hard. That's hard work. But then obviously lockdown, COVID, scuppered all my plans, because by now I wanted to have been a trainer so that I could deliver the mental health first aid training. But I also want to be able to write something that I can deliver on my own, not part of Mental Health First Aid England, to actually deliver to people like our network. Because like I said in one of my other sort of videos for Wellbeing Wednesday, we come into contact with so many different people, small businesses, and those people may have mental health problems, and there's no guarantee that when they talk to us as a business they're going to be okay, and we may need to support them. And at the moment there's nothing for people like us. I mean, I'm lucky because I've lived that life. I've got a mental health first aid certificate. You know, I can manage those conversations, but a lot of people can't. And it's like, what happens if, you know, somebody comes to see you, or, you know, somebody comes to see Ruth, the consult centre, you know, all these different people that, you know, we deal with. What happens then, and how do they get support? And yeah, this
That's
is where
massive.
this idea is sort of going.
Well, it's fantastic though, and you probably wouldn't even have been aware that COVID was around the corner. But putting that together, how you have, and it's developed through the lockdown with you doing your first aid mental health. Look at how many people now that you're in a position to support coming out of the lockdown that have really suffered, suffered mental health because of the lockdown. You're absolutely right. If ever there was a time that businesses need to be able to deal with other businesses in that situation, it's now. So fantastic. Well done.
I know loads of people, like I say, I know loads of people. I mean, it's affected me. I'm open and honest about the fact, you know, that lockdown has, you know, I said this morning in my ramble, it's been, not this morning, I don't even know what day it is. We're recording this on a Friday.
It's so funny, I love you.
It's mad. We were just saying this before, weren't we? I don't know what day it is. Anyway, this morning, which is Friday, but you're going to see this on a Wednesday. Good God, this is going to be one of them celebrity bloopers. Yeah, so we might not be in lockdown anymore. This is the problem. This is what, you know, I've been saying to people. You don't know if you're coming or going. You don't know what day it is. Clearly, you don't know what planet you're on if you're me. But we've still got to run a business. We've still got to deal with all this, and it's just like, how does that even happen? How does that even?
If I wanted any support during this time with my mental health during lockdown with my business, it'd definitely be you to put that smile on my face. Thank you for that. You're hilarious. That's what I said, and you're just you, and I love it. You're absolutely, she's like, oh, stuff it. It's Friday. I did the ramble this morning. You're watching this on Wednesday.
Well, I didn't even do the ramble on Friday. That's the comedy thing. Getting it on this Wednesday, that's not the Wednesday that you're seeing this. This is why we're all messed up in the head, isn't it? Basically, lockdown is just sent us all to the valley.
It's because we've not had Ruth here this week telling us every morning what day it is. We've all lost the plot.
Honestly, she's the only one. She's the only one that tells me what day it is, because otherwise I don't believe anybody else, because I know she knows what day it is. At least she can laugh, though. This is the thing. At least we can laugh, and this is a big thing, isn't it? Because, you know, if you think about what we've been through for the last 6 months, it's horrendous. If you actually sit and really think about it, I lost a friend early on to COVID, and it's just sort of, you know, the whole thing is just
huge,
some
isn't it?
massive mind issue. But you have to smile, don't you? Because otherwise I think we would all be crackers. We'd all be rocking in the corner.
Definitely, because like you say, by the time you are watching this, we could be in the lockdown, or it might not be here at all. We just don't know, do we? No. And you also mentioned on your ramble this morning, we'll let everybody know we are talking about that today. And we've put it out there, so let's go with it. About your big wins and having or little wins, but it's still a win. You've got to see the positive side of that and be happy about that. And that's fabulous. Tell us a little bit about that then. You just sent this lovely, neat email off at the beginning of lockdown for what looked like a great opportunity, and then forgot about it.
Yeah.
So it came back then.
Yeah, so we are Friday. I am having a call with them this afternoon about this thing. So this, I'm in loads of freelancer groups, because as a freelance sort of marketer, writer and whatever, you need to grab opportunities where you can and stuff. And I'm always on the lookout for something a bit interesting, something a bit different. And this post came up in this Facebook group saying we're looking for a tech writer. And I was like, we can do that. You know, somebody who's got experience of working with software in the cloud. I'm like, yeah, that's what I used to do before. You know, somebody who's got this ability to translate geek speak into English. And I'm like, I can do that. But something in my head was like, oh no, Sarah, that's a bit, above your station. Don't apply for that. And I thought, yeah, that voice up here, giving it some welly, saying, no, you don't want to do that. And I was like, do you know what? Network she, big girl pants, firmly on. I don't know where they are. My card's there, but I don't know where the pants are. They're probably in the wash. And I put my big girl pants on and I thought, right, sod this. I'm going to send off an email. So I sent off this email saying, you know, this is me. This is what, you know, who I am. I've had an 18-year corporate IT career, worked with software in the cloud, you know, did all this stuff. Sent off some examples of my writing from the Smart Bear. You know, we blog regularly and I blog about tech stuff all the time. And, you know, hit the send button. Then crapped myself and thought, oh my God, what have I done? You know, this is so bad. I shouldn't have done this. This is a bit too, you know, a bit too clever. And then thought nothing of it, literally thought nothing of it. And then this week, so that would have been the 14th of September, I got an email back and it was like I sent the email on the 4th of April. It was the day before my dad's birthday. And I just completely, obviously, that was just the start of lockdown. And I mean, what a journey have we been on since then? And I just thought, what's this? I thought it was spam. So I'm looking at this email, I think, I don't know this person's name. I don't know what this is about. And then I sort of scrolled down. I thought, oh, that's me. I wrote that email. And then I was like, what was that about? So I had to go back through Facebook to try and find what it was. And I was like, oh my God, it was that. So anyway, this email comes back saying, we've read your stuff. We've read your work. We really like it. We think you're going to be a perfect fit for what we're looking for. Can we talk to you some more about it? And, you know, it is a massive company who has smiles on their boxes, let's just say.
Oh, wow. Well done, Sarah.
Not that part of the business. It's actually, they have other parts of the business. So it's not for the smiley parcel boxes, but it's part of that company.
There. Yeah. Well done.
And yeah, so a couple of hours after we finish this, I've got to be professional. Like, oh my God.
Well, at least we've been given this time to get it out your system and have a giggle.
Giddiness,
but it means that you're going to feel sort of lighthearted and happy and in flow when you have your conversation.
Yeah. And it's like I said in my ramble, the win for me is the fact that they've even considered me. They've sent an email and said, you know what, we like your work, because I think, well, you know, that's better than nothing. And that to me is a massive win. And that's the way I'm looking at things at the minute. You know, it's just sort of, you have to take the wins, no matter how small and insignificant they seem at the time. They're the things that keep you going, aren't they? They're the things that keep you smiling and laughing, you know, and all this kind of stuff. So yeah,
you can build on a win, can't you? Because when it shifts your energy to like that higher vibration, if you like, that's my kind of language, then it's easier to, like attracts like, to keep attracting good things back to you. So I wish you all the luck in the world with that.
I firmly believe that now. And for a long time I was like, no, I don't believe in this energy sort of stuff. No, I'm a woman of science, I don't believe in it. But then I had hypnotherapy for anxiety about two and a bit years ago, and it was solution focused. So it's like positive action, positive interaction, all this, that and the other. And I was like, do you know what, this is genius, because the more positive you are, the more positive things happen in your life. And it's just sort of like, ooh, all this stuff that people have been saying about it isn't a load of rubbish, is it?
No.
But I think you find it when you're ready, don't you? You sort of come to it when the time's right for you. And so
definitely. And again, that like attracts like. You really suddenly find yourself in a circle of like-minded people that all got that same belief, and the energy in that is so powerful. That brings you, that's what's happened in the mothership, that's what Ruth has created. And how fantastic has that been for everybody throughout the lockdown, and look at the friendships and, you know, the collaborations that are going on between us now. You know, I cannot wait for the day that, I keep saying this, but I really cannot wait for the day when we're all allowed to gather in person, and it'll be, oh, that's what you look like in real life. You know?
Not on this flat screen in front of you. I can't wait for that either, because I just think I'm probably going to be overexcitable, to be honest, because I've literally spent the last 6 months with my husband, who I love dearly, and Susie, who I work with. So I've not seen family, I've not seen any other friends. So I've been, for me, very isolated. I mean, it's not isolated in the grand scheme of things, but for an extrovert who loves to run up to people and give them a massive hug, it's just sort of like,
so alien, isn't it?
Yeah, it's weird. Weird.
No, but well done, because your contribution to the Wellbeing Academy is fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to seeing more of you, and especially finding out how you've got on this afternoon. You'll have to let us all know.
This is like time travel, isn't it?
Yeah. But then you also talked, remember you saying the lovely conversation around how you'd felt when you'd gone out networking and how uncomfortable it was, and how you want to change that going forward in your circles. And that's part of your mental health group, that you wanted to bring businesses together of people who feel the same way.
And that's moved slightly in the last week, because the more I think about it, I run a couple of networking groups. So I run mine, which is normally on a Friday, the first Friday of the month, and we're still virtual. But I run another group, which is not my group, but I like host it. And I'm really conscious about how I'm an extrovert. And obviously not everybody's like me. And you get a lot of introverts who go to the network, and you get a lot of people who've got social anxiety. And I'm looking at putting some sort of training package thing together. It's kind of it's whizzing around here again at the minute, so it needs to come out on paper, whereby I can help people run networking groups where they can be inclusive. So Susie, who I work with, is completely the opposite of me. She's a massive introvert. But I know that quite a few people in my networking group that I run as part of the Hive Mind are also introverts or have got social anxiety. So when I'm running that group, I make sure that I try and get everybody to speak. So I'll ask people questions, not to put them on the spot or make them feel uncomfortable, but to actually include them in the conversation. Because extroverts, as you know, tend to run away with the show. We're a bit giddy, you know. And it's not because we don't think about other people, because we do, but it's just, you know, I'm better now. Yeah, but I can't stand silence.
No.
So it's like, as soon as the silence, I'm off, and I can fill, you know, a whole room full of noise quite happily. But I know lots of people can't. So I'm looking at how I can help other people who run networks to manage their groups, because let's face it, we're going to be on Zoom for a long time. I don't think we're going to be face to face for at least probably another 4 months. Maybe 5, who knows.
Oh, slow down. Just bring it back down to 3. I can cope with that. I don't want to take it into 2021. Let's not throw that out there. Give it back to 3, please.
I think it's just me though, isn't it? Because it's like I've gone like, I don't want to see people. I don't want to touch people. Yeah, it's my own little bubble that. So everybody else will be 3 and I'll be just like sat in the corner rocking. But it's just sort of like, if we've got to do this going forward. I mean, some people that I'm talking to are talking about doing mixed networking anyway, so they'll have some face to face, some online. If this is going to carry on, then you run the risk, if you're not sort of accommodating everybody who's like say socially anxious, or with introverts, or you know, anybody who's got anxiety about networking, you're running the risk of excluding them from something which actually really supports the business. So I'm trying to put something together around that as well. So
I look forward to that. So I'm a bit of a mix of the two. I'm a little bit of an introvert until you get to know me, then you can't shut me up either. No, like I'd said in my ramble, go on then, that was this week as well. Ruth was after the lockdown legacy, maximum 500 words. Well, I really don't have a maximum word count on me, so I was writing the book. So I've got to scale that back a bit as well.
I need to do mine, and I've been really thinking about what I want to do with it, because 500 words to me is just like, that's just me opening paragraph. That's like, you know, I write like I speak, it just goes on and on and on.
Well, that's flow, isn't it? That's from the heart, so that it's almost channeling, isn't it? It's just coming through.
It's really interesting, because somebody who failed my GCSE English language and literature massively, and used to get shouted at by my English teacher massively, to be writing as for a living, you know, helping people create, you know, words on a page and all this, that and the other. It's just that's a bit mad.
That's because you're able to let people be themselves, because you are, and instead of sticking to like some kind of conformity, if there is such a word, that you're able to put your own slant on it, be creative, get yourself on that page, show your own character. I believe in that. That's why my business, when I say it's all about you, whoever you are, you're you wherever you go, you know. And
and I think I'd probably do the same thing, you know, because I don't see that any of the stuff that I do is about me. So the digital marketing, the mental health stuff, or whatever. Yes, I've had a journey. Yes, I've done these things. You know, I've kept very quiet-ish. That I've qualified as a meditation tutor. So
Oh, well done.
I can
Amazing.
teach people to meditate, but I can also teach people how to teach people to meditate, because I've got
That's
a
good.
teaching qualification, so I can actually, do the train the trainer kind of thing with that.
Good.
But none of this is about me. None of this is about me. It's about, other people and other people helping people. And in my ramble, I was all about, the fact that we all support each other within the group, and even the people who aren't actively contributing all the time, who are the secret squirrels, who are lurking in the background, by them seeing and reading, us helping each other and the situations that we're in, and, the happiness and the sadness that we have, that we all share in the group. I think, that's
Right.
all helpful, isn't it?
Of course it is. And like you say, you started off being that secret squirrel in the background. So did I. And look at the pair of us now. So here doing this.
Yeah, causing trouble.
Causing trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's good trouble. It's nice trouble for the right reasons.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I really, really enjoyed our conversation, Sarah. I'm really looking forward to
me too.
in person. I'm a hugger as well, so watch this space. We'll walk around the Network She conference going, oh, missed you.
Yeah.
Oh, nice to meet you. What's the next few months going to have in store for you then? You're going to be developing businesses. How do you see that looking?
Oh, a lot of it now, obviously because of COVID, has changed. So all in both businesses, a lot of it was sort of around face-to-face stuff, which just clearly isn't happening. From digital marketing perspective, I am looking at putting some sort of like masterminds together. So like maybe 5 weeks, 6 weeks, something like that, where we take a different sort of section of digital marketing, and getting people working together in a small group. Obviously it's going to have to be online, but yeah, that's a big plan, and that's been whizzing around my head for a long time. This is what tends to happen. It whizzes around and then all of a sudden it like pops out and I have to do something with it. So that's that side of it. Then like, so the Hive Mind, probably a similar sort of thing. The whole idea of that was, there was going to be different aspects to the business. So some of it was going to be about signposting, supporting people, a bit like the community that we've got with the mothership. Yeah. But then also a lot of it was also about training and educating. I really, really am passionate about going out and talking to people about what it feels like to be somebody who has lived with a mental health problem for 30 years. Because I think, a lot of people talk about it, and they talk about it from a not lived experience. There's loads of experts on the telly that talk about, your mental health means this, and it's like, well, actually, have you been there? Have you sat there, in the pits of despair, late evening on your own, not knowing whether your life's going to continue or not? There's a lot of people who don't have a voice in that respect. So I really want to go speak, do more speaking stuff.
Brilliant.
Obviously lockdown has kind of scuppered that, but it's not made it go away, has it? It's just sort of rejigged it all.
It's giving you that time, all those things that are going around your head. You've got now the opportunity to get them out there, so that when you do come out the other side, you're just ready to hit the ground running. That's how I've always looked at it. For me, the business has never really gone away. We're just on pause. And how often do you get that opportunity to actually review everything, put new things into place, and change your business so much so that you can offer the versatility of face-to-face or online, and it gives you a much wider audience as well, which is fantastic. I'm looking forward to seeing you on stage. Absolutely looking forward to listening to you on stage, taking the floor.
It's not as easy as it looks, though. I tell you, I've done it a couple of times before. You have to behave yourself, don't you? You have to sort of like
just be
stick to the plot.
Just be yourself, because you'll be within a group of people that are there for you, for who you are. So yeah, absolutely. I feel very similar. I'd love to get out there and let people know more about the what you were saying. It's not a load of rubbish. It does actually work. Like, does attract like, and when you get in that higher vibration, the energy does attract you to keep going. I'd love to share that. So we're in a similar place.
Shall we go on tour?
Shall we?
Oh, I don't know what we'd call it, but it would be absolutely amazing,
wouldn't it? Absolutely.
We should do like the mothership on tour. Just like all of us chatting about everything.
Well, this is how things are born, because as you were talking then about you wanting to put things together, maybe like 5 sessions, it made me think of Ruth from the Consult Centre doing her potential courses. I was on the course the other night, the first one for the Facebook business. Fantastic, absolutely amazing. And if we could all be offering that kind of training or coursework or workshop on Zoom for each other forevermore. You know, we've all got so much to offer. I think that's the beauty of the Wellbeing Academy. There are so many inspirational, you know, talented and gifted, knowledgeable women that have all got something to offer for everybody else's support. And that's why I love it so much.
Yeah, I love it. It's a really, I mean, all of it's a really nice environment, but I think, you know, the wellbeing team, gang, whatever you want to call us.
Oh, crew. We're crew.
We're crew. Yeah, we've all got a story, and I think that's the thing that's come out. I think that's possibly the lockdown legacy, isn't it? Because we've all heard all these stories from people that perhaps, you know, pre-COVID we may not have heard. So I think it's
pretty special, isn't it? That's just given me goose pimples. That's really resonated. I think you've touched on there. People love a story, but they're real life stories with people that we can connect with. We've all had that relationship built, haven't we? Fantastic. Sarah, we could talk all day, and I would love to, but I know you've got a hair appointment that you need to get to.
Oh, the hair.
Who knows what
it will look like? Who knows what it'll look like in about 5 hours' time? It could still be there, or it could all be off.
So I love it. I think the colour's fantastic on you. So I absolutely love chatting to you. I can't wait to meet you, as I say, in person.
Yeah, you too.
And I'll see you on Wellbeing Wednesday, well, from next week, which is the 23rd. It's going monthly. So you're likely to come on in the following month.
Oh my goodness, so this is going to be even worse, isn't it? So we're talking, oh my goodness me.
It's
Ruth,
fantastic.
Don't ever go on holiday again. Don't leave us. This is what happens.
It's fabulous, and you know what? It's a shame that we have to wait that long to listen to the video, because it's been an absolute screen. Really enjoyed it, and I'll probably watch it before then, just for the entertainment value. Have a fantastic day, sweetheart, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Thanks for your time.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.